The raw material that Pedders use for the manufacture of their coil springs is sourced from high-quality, high-grade steel. All of the high-grade steel we use comes in varying lengths. Because the coil is very much dependent on the amount of steel wire it is manufactured from, every coil has its own unique length. The next step in the production is to cut the steel wire to a precise measured length that's required for this part number. When the steel wire has been cut to length, it's now taken to the furnace to be uniformly heated to a precise 960 degrees Celsius. The walking beam furnace ensures that each individual steel bar length is fed in at a constant rate, as every individual piece of material must be heated at the same quotient. Another interesting feature of the Pedders coil spring plant is that it uses natural gas to heat the furnaces, as this fuel offers precise temperature control and is environmentally friendly. After the exacting specified time, the bar is removed from the furnace and positioned into a fully computerised CNC coil winding machine. All coil springs manufactured by Pedders are hot wound, as this process is deemed to be more exacting. When the process has been completed, the mandrel withdraws and the coil is allowed to continue its journey to the quenching bath. The coils are then sent in convoy through an oil bath to complete the quenching process. The oil in the bath is maintained within its correct working temperature to maintain an even cooling progression. From here, they pass through the gas-fired tempering furnace with an even temperature distribution that varies according to the spring wire diameter. This process ensures that the material maintains its elasticity. This segment of the procedure is very slow, as there's a need to heat the material uniformly from the exterior to the core, thus not creating any weak segments in the material. A good coil spring must return to its designed shape after a deflection. If a coil is not tempered correctly, there's a good chance that it will collapse. If the coil design requires a ground flat end, the batch is taken to the grinding room. Here, the coils are clamped into a jig, and the oscillating frame that guides the coil across the face of the rotating grinding stone to create a flat surface. Between each grind, the operator faces the stone to maintain accuracy and consistency. When this coil's springs have been completed, the coils are then taken to be shot peened. They're hand-delivered into the large drum. The shot comprises of small steel beads that are fired at the coils whilst they're rotating in the large drum. The shot doesn't last forever. In fact, a small amount of the shot is added to the start of each run. The shot is circulated and filtered, removing any shot that is not effective. Shot peening has several effects on the coil. It removes all unwanted particles from the surface and gives the coil a nice clean surface ready for powder coating. More importantly, the shot stress relieves the surface of the coil, therefore removing any impurities that would have the possibility of causing a problem with the coil later in life. When the cycle has finished, the coils are removed and taken to the test bench. The coils are placed on a rack in preparation to be tested. There are two operations. One is the scragging of the coil, which is the compression of it until it coil binds. The coil must return to its starting height after it's been scragged. Secondly, the coil is compressed to a predetermined pressure, and at that pressure, the height of the coil is to be of a certain height. This is called loaded ride height. If the spring fails to meet the required specifications, then it's placed into the scrap metal bin. Every spring that is manufactured in the plant is individually checked. Pedders set and achieve high standards. All Pedders coils that pass scrutiny are now taken to the spray booth and powder coated. The powder is attracted to the coil by a magnetic process. The coil is negative and the nozzle of the gun is positive. All the excess powder is drawn to the rear of the booth and is recycled for future use. When the rack is full, it's placed into an oven to be cured. The temperature of the oven is 220 degrees C, and it takes 25 minutes. The coils are removed and allowed to cool. The coils are now boxed and placed onto pallets ready for distribution. Pedders manufacture a large range of springs for caravans, sedans, SUVs, four-wheel drives and light commercials, and for a variety of applications such as lowering, raising and supporting a vehicle's capability to manage loads. Pedders high-quality coil springs come with a 2-year, 40,000 kilometre nationwide warranty.